both of you in a moment. But first of all, a new golden age of television. That's what the government hopes to achieve with its proposals for tighter regulation of streaming services. The Culture Secretary said services like Netflix and Amazon Prime will be brought under the supervision of the broadcast regulator Ofcom for the first time. There will also be new rules to try to guarantee British content is as available as the international shows, which are hugely popular with subscribers. But a former controller for BBC One isn't convinced the new rules will work.
Who are they watching? Have they actually even looked at the schedules of any of the public service channels this week? Because I can tell you they're full of it. I don't think it is for the government to commission the programmes that we are seeing on our TV. Each channel has its remit that it has to fulfil, and if it fulfills its remit, that should be good enough for everyone.
So to the front pages then, and the insides. The Daily Express reporting on the death of the BBC following the latest broadcast funding shake-up, or death of the BBC licence fee, I should say. The Times has a column on the government plan again to review the licence fee. We're back to Liam Thorpe and Olivia Utley. So plenty to come out of this white paper. Should we tackle the comments there we have from that BBC One or former BBC One controller first of all? You know, why is the government dictating what is on television or what these channels should be running, Olivia?
Yeah, the government, it's a sort of another clumsy attempt from the government to try and rein in aspects that it doesn't like of the BBC. It wants to get British material on our TV screens, but I happen to agree with Lorraine Hegarty there, who says that, you know, why is it up to the government to decide what goes onto our TV screens? It all comes down to every few years the government decides that the BBC is getting a bit out of control. We're paying for it with our licence fees, and yet, you know, there's a whole generation of people who are younger, in their early 20s, who barely watch the BBC at all, and is it right that should be happening? But it always feels a little bit as though the government is playing catch-up with these white papers. It's sort of trying to work out what to do about a situation which has already happened, and that seems to be what it's doing right now. It can't get ahead of the curve. It's just a little bit too slow.
Well, a lot of the pre-coverage of this was about the privatisation of Channel 4. As you can see there from the Daily Express and the Times, the coverage for tomorrow's newspapers is the end of the BBC licence fee. And Nadine Dorries, the Culture Secretary, underlining the message of the White Paper in a podcast in which she said the licence fee was completely outdated. Now, why is this the decision, or will it be, for the government of the day? Is it not something we kind of, I don't know, need a referendum about? I mean, you know, what do you think, Liam?
This government is incredibly inconsistent. It talks a lot about kind of free speech and freedom of expression, and when it doesn't like elements of that, it tries to clamp down on them. We've seen that with Channel 4. It's patently obvious that the move, which is widely discredited, widely condemned by industry experts and MPs with Channel 4, is because they don't like the angles that they take and the criticism that the government gets. Nadine Dorries actually said in that same podcast where she said the BBC licence fee is outdated, she then followed it by saying the BBC has a problem with impartiality. So again, it's about this culture war issue. It's not really about BBC in general. The government wants to take action against, I believe, against sort of news angles that it doesn't like. It's been looked at time and time again, the BBC licence fee. Nobody's saying it's perfect, and obviously the issues with people being convicted and targeted when they can't pay is a difficult one, but it's been looked at before, and I think even the BBC have said it's the least bad option. So under this white paper, obviously the government's got, I think, 5 years now to try and come up with an alternative, and it'll be interesting to see what it comes up with. But the BBC's totally different from the streaming services, and Channel 4's totally different from the streaming services. They provide different types of content. So yeah, I fully agree. It's not for the government to be meddling in this stuff in this way, but I'm afraid it will continue to do so.
Okay, we've just got some pictures in, actually, of the incident we mentioned earlier, which is the targeted attack on Kiev a little earlier. This was, well, there we go, there's the very latest pictures, as you can see, the burning buildings. The mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, said that the Shevchenkivsky district in the northwest